Tuesdays. Good stuff.
Highly approved.
So. Ignore the
Scooby.
cats fighting.
I know it's Scooby.
Yeah. But, you know, it's a process. A very long one, apparently, because how long have we had him now?
Like a month and a half.
Oh, wow. Been that long?
Maybe less.
Wow.
We moved at the beginning of, like, the end of April, beginning of May. So it would have been, like, April 29th or 30th, I feel like, that I would have brought him.
Yeah, because it was a month before he could get fixed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hide the things that I don't want you to see. Because it pertains to later. And she can't see. Okay, so.
I have no idea.
This week's update that I have, it was kind of a boring week, honestly. We're just trying to relax because last weekend was really busy.
Yeah.
I feel like we were constantly doing something. So, and now Boo Boo's feeling better, but now my mom is sick. Well, was sick. She's better now. She had a sinus infection. And I was like, oh no, we gave her the plague like we did our friends. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my airplane. I made a little airplane out of the straw cover. Oh, and it was really cute. So I forget what day it was, but we were just home chilling, and all of a sudden Boo Boo comes up to me and she goes, I'll probably bleep it out for you guys, but she says, home? And so I was like, okay, let's see, let's call Nana. So she's like, yeah, come on over. So she just wanted to go over and play with my niece. It was so cute. Aww. She's never asked to go to anybody's house before. Yeah, it was so cute.
That's adorable.
Yeah, she loves my niece. Oh, you want to know how stupid I am also? That's another of my updates. So technically I own Joshua's Jeep. It's under my name.
Yeah.
And so for some reason, because how my dad owns my car, I've never had to get my own stickers.
Yeah.
And I'm just used to my dad being like, okay, I'm going, at this time to go get the stickers. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to go to the DMV. But because I own Joshua's car, I had to go get the stickers.
Yeah.
Guess when I got the stickers?
I'm guessing recently.
Yes, because it expired in April.
Yeah.
And it's currently, what, June?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just discovered that, recently. He thankfully didn't get pulled over.
Yeah,
but I'm
I was about to say.
Why am I so stupid? Why can I not remember to go get the stickers?
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's very annoying.
I am that way because my parents, it's my birthday present every year. They just buy my tags, and my dad orders them online. Just, here you go.
Here's your birthday present.
My car is in my name, so it still happens around my birthday. So, works out, I guess. It's a birthday present. And it works for me, because then I don't have to remember to get it. But then there was one year where he didn't do that. Because they had planned to get me something else. They had something else in mind for me that year. And I forgot, and I drove around with expired tags for a couple of weeks. And then I did get pulled over.
Oh.
But I explained the situation. I was like, oh my God. They were like, okay.
Yeah.
Get them.
Yeah.
Just get them.
Typically, they're really understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't realize, because over when we were all shut down, we also let them expire because they didn't let you in. So, it was a year in between or something. And like, when we got pulled over, I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I am so sorry. We just had a baby. Like, my brain is somewhere else. It's not on this level.
Yeah.
So, like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
But we will get them done as soon as possible. They made us buy a whole new plate and everything.
That's stupid.
Yes. I'm like, that seems wrong.
Yeah.
Because don't you only need new plates when it's a new vehicle? Like, you're getting it
No, you
new?
don't even need them then because you can transfer plates.
I know. Yeah,
That
they made us
doesn't
buy
make
a
any
whole new
sense.
plate.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe that's a thing if they go expired for so long, but that's still just, I don't know. That
And it
doesn't
wasn't
make
even
sense
our
in my
fault
mind.
because they wouldn't let you even in the DMV.
Yeah, there was a long time where it was literally a thing, like you would not get pulled over for it.
Mm-hmm.
But then they lifted that, and it was publicized, but it wasn't publicized as much as it should have been, I feel like.
Right, exactly. So that's why I was stupid this week. And then, have you done the cube test on anybody? I've done it
No.
to like not all of my family, just people that I remember.
feel like I can't remember enough.
Okay,
about
I've said it so many times, I know it by heart now.
I need it in writing because I actually thought about it one day, and I was
Okay,
like,
I'll send it to you.
okay.
Yeah, because I did it to my dad and my brother, and they did totally different answers than us. Not totally, but like, you know how our ladders were leaning? My dad's was on top of the cube.
That's weird.
Yeah, and it showed a lot of my dad's personality because he was a plastic cube, and it was see-through. And I'm like, that's my dad.
Yeah.
And my brother was glass. Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. And so he had a theory because I said, oh, well, mine's a shiny metal, almost like a mirror. And you even said that last episode. You were like, it's like a mirror.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think about that. And my brother was like, what if it's a shiny metal, almost like a mirror for my cube? Because I reflect people. I'm very rarely myself. I just mimic into the person who I am talking to, who they would want me to be. I said, whoa, I think you just unlocked something in my brain.
I'm gonna need you to hit your brother for me. I don't need that in my brain. I don't.
Drink break. It hit me so hard. I'm like, yo. Yeah. And were you a shiny metal too?
Yeah, mine
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
you
mirror.
were-
Yeah, mine was a mirror. It was
Yeah.
literally a mirror.
Yeah. That's so weird. Because I do find myself doing that. I'm
Yeah.
very rarely myself, and that's why it's so exhausting sometimes
Yeah.
to interact with people.
It's not that I don't like act fake.
No.
Like on purpose
No.
or anything. Like it's not that it's an act or anything.
No.
But it's like,
It's like I
feel
can't
like
help it.
some people bring out other parts of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I have different personalities for different people, but I have so many different interests, so many different likes. I like different kinds of music, and like I've got different things that connect me to different people.
Yeah.
So I feel like I am more similar to those people when I'm talking to them.
Yeah.
Like, there's so few people that I feel like I can completely be my authentic self with. And that's like you and my
Some parts.
you. That's a whole different conversation. We're not getting into that part.
When it comes to me being, like, you being authentic with me is because I've seen you in all walks of life.
Exactly. You've
have
known me
that-
through all of my phases.
Yeah, and we have that bond of that's why you don't have to be a certain, and maybe that gives it a negative connotation because we're not saying like we're fake with other friends.
Yeah.
It's more of like
Some people, you don't always feel as comfortable
Yeah.
with some people showing your true self.
My hair is driving me nuts.
Not that you're putting on a facade for other people, but that
They bring out
You're-
something different in you.
you still have some kind of a guard up or something. Like, maybe they're not ready for all that level of weird yet or something is like more so my thing.
Yeah.
Because I can be a little funny sometimes. Or like there's like a level of comfortability for me in terms of like if I'll even sing in the car with somebody and they're with me.
Oh.
Like that is, of course you don't know that I'm that
No.
way because I sing in the car when you're with me.
Yeah.
But like there's other people that I won't sing in front of. But then like last night at work, I felt comfortable enough and I was singing in the back. Not out front, but my customers don't pay me for that. So.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah. Because I can think of a specific friend or a couple friends that I have that they bring out a different person than, like, personality than I am normally. And, like, I kind of, but it's not like I don't like that personality that it comes out in me
yeah.
when I'm around them. I like who I am, and that's why they're my friends still. Because they bring out a different side than my normal,
Yeah.
very reserved back self. Like, you wouldn't know this, but to other people that I don't know very well, I'm a very quiet, shy, I just observe
Yeah.
person. So, like, with them, it's like a different thing, and with you, it's a different thing. Like, and
Yeah.
even with him, it's a different thing. Like, everybody is a different, and I think that's why I was a shiny metal, because it feels like I'm a different with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's a different personality trait that comes out in me, I think.
exactly. It's different traits that they bring out. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah. That blew my mind. I was like, whoa, that's nuts. Also, in case you guys are wondering, green lights. You're not going crazy. It is green. But that's because I got so sunburned that I look unbelievably red, even more than I already do. I feel like these lights over here are like making me look red. But yeah.
They're definitely not. They're green.
We were talking about how we kind of like the green, though.
Yeah.
I like it. Because the pink kind of blends
Billie
in.
Eilish vibes.
Yes. I like it. And it's, like, different. And, like, ooh,
Yeah.
And I got sunburned really bad on Sunday when we went swimming with friends. And the water was so flippin' cold. But that's because it was only, like, 76 outside.
Yeah.
And so it was really cold and it was really cloudy, but it was fun. We still had fun. Boo Boo was not having fun. Didn't have fun. It was very cold and she, apparently. But still, I lathered that kid. I think I might have to get new sunscreen. Because I lathered that kid. And she still got a little pink today. Because we went swimming again.
Did you reapply though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like every hour I reapplied because I'm like, I don't want her burned. I don't want myself to get more burned. And I don't think it worked. I might have to get new ones.
Maybe.
It's 50.
Maybe you need something a little higher.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into it. Also on Sunday, we went swimming Saturday. That's what it was, not Sunday. But Sunday, Boo Boo got dedicated. I don't know if I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We did that, and it was so cute because she got an itty bitty little Bible, and she got a rose, or not a rose. It was just a flower, a pink little flower, and a balloon, and it was just so cute. It was a different kind of dedication that I'm used to. We didn't do like the whoop doop kind of thing, but all of our families came up and sat around, and like it was kind of like a, what do you call it?
Baptism?
No, like support, like that kind of word, like supportive, like it's kind of like we didn't say these are their godparents because we haven't ever decided who's that's a big thing. Like,
Yeah.
years, as long as she's been alive, we've been trying to figure out if anything happens to us, who gets her? And that's such a big decision.
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't appoint any godparents or anything, but we still had family come up and be like, this is, like, her support system and things. But not everybody was there.
Yeah.
That's her support system, so. And then she saw this today, and I didn't even mention it to her. But we dug up my little side garden outside my window, and we're putting like I want to call it like a front patio kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
Are you kind of trying to make it
decorate
to where you can sit out front? Yeah.
Yeah, because we got stuff like stones, but we still need to put them in like a final place, and then we might put some quick mix cement stuff down.
Them.
Yeah, and just like make it sturdy so we can put stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited because I'm not a gardener. I cannot grow things. I'm surprised my Mother's Day plant's still alive. I just can't. I have a black thumb. I just can't grow things. I've tried. So I have all that over there outside on the other side that I have bushes and all my decorations. And now on this side, I'll have somewhere to sit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm excited about it, and I can't wait till we get it done. And that's all my updates.
Mine is pretty short, honestly. The only interesting thing that I did. Dear goodness, why can't I talk? Should I say the place, or do you think that's like too?
I would just say amusement park.
Oh, okay.
Just in case.
So, I've been working, of course, a lot. Always.
She's a working gal.
I've been bartending a little bit more. I actually have 3 bartending shifts this upcoming week. It's like every other day I'm either serving, bartending, serving, bartending, serving, and bartending. Then I'm off. And then I bartend. And then I'm off.
And
then I
surprisingly,
serve.
she was off today.
Yeah, I was off today. That was nice. And I'm off next Tuesday too, which is also nice. But Sunday, me, my 2 sisters, and both of my nieces went to the amusement park / water park
in Ohio.
Yes, and it was a lot of fun, but I haven't really been as an adult with like a small child, and my 5-year-old niece is obsessed with me, so of course I had to be her ride buddy, and I'm okay with that. But every roller coaster we got on, I found myself like panicking with the restraints, like, is there any way that this child is going to slip out and fly off of this roller coaster? Like, am I prepared to grab her quick enough to save her life?
I think you could.
I think I could too. But I didn't have to, thankfully, at any point. But yeah, I was definitely like, wow, I am a nervous Nelly, and I would love to go to the amusement park with adults and not children, so that I don't have to ride Kittyland rides all day. I can go to like ride adult roller coasters, like for normal people.
Yeah.
And it's just
there's no one that went to that you could have just been like, hey, can I go ride this adult ride and you stay here?
Well, yeah, but I don't want to ride anything by myself. I don't like that. I don't like being by myself.
Can't blame you. I don't either.
So, I need to go. I need somebody who is ready to ride any roller coaster.
I wish I could be that person. I have motion sickness way too easily. Like, I can't even spin in a circle. Like, I don't know why I'm so bad. I always have been, though.
My little sister's that way. That's why she can't ride anything with me. She gets motion sickness every time.
What about your older sister?
She doesn't like them that much.
So you just went for the kiddie rides?
Yeah, went for the kids, went for the water park, and apparently the stress. There was a wave pool, though, and it was a lot of fun.
I like that wave pool.
She, my 5-year-old niece, of course, wanted me to be the one holding her hand in the wave pool, and it was a lot of fun. She kept saying, I am Moana. I got to restore the heart of Tefiti. For like the big waves. Like there would be like a 5-minute break in between the waves. And then the waves would start up again, and like all the time on the big waves she's like, I must restore the heart of Tefiti. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she has a Moana swimming suit. And it's so cute. But it's just, oh my goodness. It was so funny. My favorite part, I think, had to be, we decided to go down a water slide. So it was me and my little niece, and then my older sister and my older niece. And so me and the little one went first, and it was fine. But I did, like, right at the end, almost panic and just kind of, like, sit up real quick. Because we were on one of those tubes where, you know, we're laying down or whatever. My legs are out like this, and she's in the front. And I just, like, sat up real quick to make sure that we wouldn't, like, topple, like, flip backwards as soon as I hit the water because of the uneven weight distribution between me, a grown adult, and a 5-year-old.
I'm surprised they let you do that.
Do what?
Are they, so, like, they...
Like, when I sat up real quick, or, like...
No, like, being, like, double like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they were fine with it. But I did that, and then we didn't go under, and it was a smooth ride. It was fine. My sister did not do that. They came down after us. The entire tube flipped.
Oh, no.
My niece went, like, she caught just a teensy bit of air. And went into the 2 foot of water. And I'm just
not the 2 foot.
And, like, my sister, she's not tiny either, you know, and she just she like scraped her hand, she lost her glasses, like, it was a mess.
She's never been the most graceful.
Yeah, she has a like huge scrape on her leg from hitting the concrete, like, bottom or whatever of the pool. I thought it was hilarious. Maybe I'm a jerk, I don't know.
You know, we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah. It's alright.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a fun day. I got a new bikini.
Hey, nice. I want a new bathing suit.
Yeah, I've had the same
friendly.
one.
I have one that I wore today that's like a little bit lower, and you see some stuff you're not supposed to see. So, and like they're very high cut. So I'm like, I need something family friendly.
This is not for the podcast. I'm sorry you guys are not going to see this.
Is it the pink one you've had forever?
No.
Oh, okay.
I haven't had...
Was it pink?
No. So this is the new one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now I see why it's not for the podcast.
Yeah. But you see, that was like a cuter picture.
That is a cute picture.
And like, that one was fine. Yeah. But, yeah. Very... exposed. But I walked around like that. I know. I walked around like I had the confidence. And I kind of did. It was cute.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm not saying
and
it's
the
bad.
like bottoms are high-waisted, so.
Oh, yeah.
I
think also because today I wore my shorts into the pool just because I said it's so high cut that I'm like, geez, oh Pete.
Yeah.
So I just wear my shorts, and I might go ahead and get some that have shorts like as bottoms.
Yeah.
So I might do that. But because I've had those, I got those last year. There's 2 of them. And then I still have ones that I've had for like 4 years. I'm like, why do I hold on to these things?
I've had my other one way longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do I do this?
I bought it after I had first moved in with my ex at his apartment for the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where was that one picture? Or what was that one that I feel like you had that one a very long time. It was all 4 of us went swimming.
Yeah, that's the exact one that I'm talking about.
Isn't it pink?
It's like a peachy color around black. It's like lines. It's got a lot of line work on it.
What it looked like, because I was like, I came up on my time hop not too long ago, and I was just like, huh, okay, it was that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did I think it was pinker?
I don't know.
Huh. Maybe I'm thinking of Britney's?
Hers was like a tankini. It was like pink and white striped, I
Maybe
think.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Maybe.
Yeah. Because you can't see mine, because I have mine wrapped around, like my,
your towel.
yeah, towel wrapped around me. Okay, so this is going to be, I hope, not a very long episode, because we got a lot of stuff to read. It's going to be a lot of reading for us. So, what we're doing today is, a little disclaimer, because I don't want to get sued. This does not belong to me or us. We do not own this. It belongs to the show. So we do not own these stories or any of the content. This is all from the show. It's Beyond Belief Factor Fiction. Did you guys ever watch that? Because I was obsessed with it. And when she came over last week?
When we got Scooby fixed.
Yeah, we just sat there and watched a bunch of episodes. And so this is season 2, episode 9. So the basis of the show, if you've never seen it, is it's 5 stories, and it's up to the viewers after listening to the story to depict if it was true or false. And we'll tell you at the end of the episode what they were, if they were true or false. So, do you want to read the first story, or do you want me to read the first story?
You can do the first one.
Okay.
I'll do the next one.
Okay, sounds good. So, the first story is called Rock and Roll Ears. My name is Lyle Norman, and I've owned Norman's Rare Guitars Music Emporium for the past 10 years. But with my extreme hearing loss from too many years with too much volume, my store is getting hard to keep open. Impatient teenagers coming in asking me for something and not being able to hear them, they leave frustrated, and the business is getting slower and slower. I'd hate to shut down the place because this is the only tie I have left to the thing that used to be my life. I've seen specialists from my hearing loss, but all have told me there's nothing that they can do, and it is only getting worse. One day, 2 teenage boys come in, and they're playing guitar way too loud. I walk over and unplug the guitar cord from the amp. "You are playing way too loud. Even I can hear you," I said to the angry-looking kid. "Ears are delicate little machines. You can mess them up pretty easily, forever." He looks at me and yells in my face, "If it ain't loud, it ain't rock and roll." Old man. Sorry, I forgot about that part. Calmly, I say, "Oh, I know about rock and roll, kid. I sat in with all the greats. Hendrix, Cream, Big Brother. We played real loud, too. Then my ears went. Happens to a lot of guys. If you're not careful, the same thing can happen to you." "You're full of it. I bet you've never even met Hendrix," he says. "I bet you're just a deaf old loser," says his friend. I grabbed the guitar from him, plugged it in, and started a solo. I can tell his friend is impressed, but he gets even more mad. "Learned that riff from Jimmy when he played the Whiskey back in '68, I say. The kids start arguing when his friend says that it was good, and he argues saying it wasn't that great. "Austin, you couldn't even try to play that, even in your dreams," says his friend. "Shut up." Austin starts backing out of the store. "Come on, let's get out of this dump," when he trips over a drum set. "Hey, maybe you should take up the drums," I laugh. Embarrassed, they run out of the store. I kind of felt bad. I didn't want to embarrass the kid. I just wanted to teach him a lesson. Later that night, as I'm closing up, I am still thinking about those kids, and as I count the till, I start feeling sorry for myself instead of them. What if I have to close up the shop? What would I do? Nobody would want to hire a deaf, washed-up musician. I may have to get permanent disability. Stressed, I walk over to the guitars, reminiscing about the good old days after a gig we would just sit around and play for ourselves. I start to play something and just try to relax. What I didn't know was that those teenagers came back outside with their van. They back up to the front entrance of my store. They get out and fling the doors open to reveal huge subwoofers. I don't know about this. He's just an old man, says his friend. He needs to be taught a lesson. Nobody embarrasses me. I'm going to take what's left of his hearing, and you're going to help me, says Austin. They hop back in the van and wait for me. I decide it's time to head home, and I put the guitar in its stand and grab my Instant Karma World Tour jacket and go to leave when I spot the van. I open the door and see in the passenger seats of the van are the two teenagers from earlier. Before I could say anything, the speakers blow me back with loud music. I grab my head and scream with how much it's hurting. Have you had enough yet? That's the last thing you'll ever hear. The kid maniacally screams from the van. His friend says, all right, that's enough. But he doesn't think so. He turns it up even higher, and my head is starting to feel like it's going to explode with such high volume. The glass doors of the shop crack and shatter, covering me as I am screaming in pain. When all of a sudden, I feel electricity flowing through my head as my hearing aids zap from the overload and I pass out. The two teens shut off the music and come inside. They stare down at me. His friend says, oh man, I think he's dead. As I regain consciousness and lift my head, nah, he's not dead. He's just deaf, aren't you, old man? I look at him and say, no need to shout. I can hear you. The boys look at each other and ran out looking scared. My hearing came back miraculously that night, and I didn't have to close the store. I even started playing with the band again.
Wow.
And that's the end. So, what do you think? Was that true or false? Honestly, I kind of really like Lyle. I think he's really cool sounding. And I personally hope it's true, because how cool is that?
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Okay. Story 2, The Bucket. My wife, Maggie, and I, and my 7-year-old daughter, Amy, are all part of a small, close-knit community of farmers who share and trade food amongst ourselves. It's a simple kind of life. Nothing very special ever happens except for last spring. That is something we'll be talking about forever. Amy announces the arrival of Gus, our neighbor, as he pulls up. Hey, Gus. I wave and smile as I put down my axe that I was using to chop wood and head over to help him with the milk that he's brought us. It all started with Gus Hobbs, a dairy farmer, who lives just down the road. He's been delivering milk to our farm for years. Every Sunday, like clockwork, Gus drops off a week's supply of fresh milk in an old, dented metal dairy bucket. As I help him carry the bucket, he says, you know, either this bucket is getting heavier or I'm getting older. I just laugh. Somehow I don't think it's the bucket, Gus. He chuckles. My daughter comes over to greet Gus. She just loves the magic he does. Hey, Amy girl, what's that behind your ear? And pulls a quarter from behind her ear.
That's such an old man thing to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Gus, she smiles. Oh, don't thank me. It's magic. I put the empty bucket from last week in the back of his truck. Here's the empty one, Gus. See you next week. As he's getting in his truck, he says, that's right. Come hell or high water, there's 2 things in this life you can count on. Gus and taxes. That's pretty funny. Maggie comes running out to give him his favorite pie, strawberry rhubarb. Oh, Lord, let us give thanks for what we are about to receive. Amen. I pray over our breakfast. A week passed and a fierce storm hit early on Sunday. No one got to church that morning. Well, that's the rest of the milk, Maggie says as she pours what's left of the milk into Amy's cereal. I really don't know if Gus will be able to get through in this weather. It's been blowing up a gale outside, I said. It may clear up. He might come later, Maggie says. Amy looks in the corner of the room where the milk bucket is. Look, yeah. Gus's bucket is shaking. We look over, but we don't see anything. She swears she saw it shaking, but we don't believe her. Well, now we know that you think Gus can do magic, but I don't think that his bucket will move on its own, Maggie says with a chuckle. She still says that she saw it move. It was probably just the vibration from the fridge motor. Later, as Maggie is chopping vegetables in the kitchen, I'm at the table and Amy is on the floor playing. Oh, the storm is breaking. Maybe we'll get some milk today after all. When all of a sudden, the milk bucket in the corner starts screeching across the floor. We rush to Amy as she is screaming in fear. The lid flies off and hits the floor with a thud, and the bucket is still making an awful noise. We back away, watching as it comes to a halt. What was that all about? Maggie says, clearly scared. There has to be a simple explanation, I say. I walk over to the milk bucket very slowly, pick up the lid and look inside the bucket, and nothing is there. Maybe the pressure built up because of the storm, although I admit it does seem a little strange. I put the lid back on and everything seems fine. Just when we calm down enough, the lid pops off again, this time with even more force, and breaks a couple dishes drying in the dish rack. The milk pail starts scraping again across the floor. Ned, do something, Maggie cries. I do the only thing I can think of and cover it with a tablecloth. It seems to have stopped it. I want that thing out of the house right now, Ned. I shake my head reluctantly. No. Take it back to Gus because maybe he can explain what's going on. Deciding she's right, I go over to the bucket, take off the tablecloth, and stare at it. I pick it up and rush out to the truck. I even buckle it in to keep it from moving. It's freaking me out. I drove as quickly as I could to Gus's dairy farm. It was only a short distance down the road, but with that mysterious bucket next to me, it seemed like the longest 10 minutes of my life. I grabbed the bucket and got out to the truck. As I am looking around, calling for Gus, I hear painful moaning and look and see Gus laying in the hay, and I rush over. I was able to get him to the nearest hospital where they saved his life. He had suffered a stroke that certainly would have killed him if I hadn't shown up when I did, thanks to that crazy bucket.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Right? What do you guys think? Do you think it was true?
I don't know. I've seen crazy. I feel like I've seen ones that are just that crazy be true.
And that's kind of the point of the show is is it crazy enough to be true, or is it too crazy that it's false?
Yeah.
And it's really cool. The longer that you watch the show, like you start being able to be like, that's just crazy enough. I might believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so next is story 3, The Bridesmaid. And I'm glad I'm reading this instead of you. Okay.
Okay.
I just feel like you can relate, so
Oh.
I don't want you to be sad. Okay.
Oh my.
Yep. Okay. So, do you, Alan, take Brenda to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do. Then by the power invested in me by the state of Florida, I now pronounce you husband and wife.
Oh, of course it's in Florida.
You may kiss the bride. The wedding march starts up. It's an exciting day for Brenda and Alan. They met in high school, and they immediately knew that one day they'd marry and spend the rest of their lives together. This is that glorious day. I have been a bridesmaid for 5 weddings this year. And although I am very happy for my sister, that's 5 weddings too many. I'd much rather be the bride. My sister is gathering everyone to throw the bouquet. I've already caught the bridal bouquet at 3 out of the 5 weddings that I've been to this year, and I didn't even get a date out of it. As she throws it, the bouquet goes over everyone's raised hands and lands right in my lap. Not blessed with my baby sister's good looks, I was beginning to come to the painful realization that a bridesmaid is perhaps all I ever will be. Brenda and Alan enjoyed 2 wonderful years of blissful marriage. Everything seemed to be going their way, but soon tragedy would strike. Alan would go on a sport fishing trip in the Caribbean with his boss and several clients. Their boat would be lost in a storm, and everyone on the boat would perish. Brenda had a hard time adjusting to the loss of Alan. After a few months, I suggested that she would move in with me. Hey, this is going to be great. We're going to get through this together, I say to comfort her. I love you, sis, she says, turning to hug me, and I answer with a I love you too. My sister wanted some alone time, so I decided to give her space. Most of the time, you could find me on the computer, surfing the web. Somehow, on the internet, I could be myself. I felt a freedom to share that I never felt face to face with people. It was so easy to talk this way, especially to my new friend Corey. He seemed to be in tune with everything I liked. It made me feel good to exchange my thoughts and feelings with him. My sister came over and asked what I was doing. I told her that I was in a chat room with my friend Corey. I asked if she wanted to try, and she said, "I don't think so. I don't think I'll ever be ready." I sighed, worried about her. I spent hours communicating with Corey in our own private chat room, the conversation becoming more and more intimate as the days and nights passed. He wrote that we should meet. I tell him that I'm afraid. He wrote back, "Don't be. I feel like I've known you for years." A date and a place to meet were finally set. I couldn't wait to share the good news with my sister. "That's great. I'm so happy for you, Luce. Just be careful, okay?" She says, "What do you mean?" I ask. "Well, you met him on the internet. I hear sometimes weird things happen to people who meet on the internet." "Oh, no, no, no. Don't worry. I always carry my little can of pepper spray and my police whistle," I told her. "I'm not kidding, Lucy. Neither am I." "Have a good time," she says, and gives me a hug goodbye. I arrive early for my date with Corey. He was supposed to be wearing a red polo shirt. Nervously, I walk up to him, and he turns around when I say his name. "Yes," he said. I'm taken aback. "Lucy? Alan?" I stand there and unable to speak. "What's wrong?" he asks. "I'm sorry, you just look exactly like my brother-in-law. He died in a boating accident 6 months ago." I stammered out. "I almost died in a boating accident 6 months ago, and I've been suffering from complete memory loss ever since," he says, almost in disbelief. I realize what I have to do. "Your name is Alan. Alan Weaver." He repeats his name back as if unlocking a memory. "Yeah. I think you should come home with me and meet my sister." He just looks at me, and I start to walk away and turn around, waiting for him to follow me. Over the next several months, Alan slowly regains his memory. He and Brenda fell in love all over again, and they decide to rededicate their vows in a full-blown ceremony. "And by the power invested in me by the state of Florida, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may now kiss the bride." The wedding march starts again. I have so many feelings going on inside. I haven't really tried to deal with them yet. Oh, and by the way, my friend is getting married next week, and guess who she asked to be the bridesmaid? Yikes. So what do we think about that one?
That sucks.
That does suck. I feel so bad for the older sister, because she already feels like she isn't pretty like her younger sister. She was trying to get her life together. She felt like she connected with this guy so much, and then just come home with me and meet my sister. I feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
So do we think that was true? False? What do we think? Okay, so I needed help with all the typing. So I asked my husband to help write the next 2 stories. So if they're laid out differently, that's why I wrote the first 3. I wrote out, not wrote.
So this one is called Voice from the Grave. I wasn't surprised to see the detective walking down the hall that day. Ever since the young nurse Lisa AOB had been brutally murdered, detectives were a common sight around Cameron County Hospital. Lisa was found dead in a hospital boiler room, stabbed repeatedly with a surgical knife. No evidence was found at the crime scene, and there were no witnesses. But there was another reason I wasn't surprised to see the detective that day. I was the one who called him. And so then this part is written in conversation. So it starts with Detective Puma, Dr. Murray, and then Dr. Murray says, "Yes. I'm Detective Dave Puma. You called with some new information about the Lisa AOB case." He pulls him away to have a private conversation. Dr. Murray says, "Yes, it's my wife, Evelyn. She and Lisa were close friends. I don't know how to say this. A week ago, she began speaking obsessively about the murder, as if she was actually there. You mean the murder scene? Yes, in a way. The strange thing about it is she was not speaking in her own voice. It seemed to be the voice of Lisa Aobi. What are you talking about? I'm talking about channeling in the dead woman's spirit, Detective Puma. I know it's hard to believe, but I heard it with my own ears. Really? Where's your wife now? She's here. She's the nurse on duty. I'll page her. My wife and I sit down next to each other on a couch, and Detective Puma sits down in a chair across from us. And then his wife, Evelyn, says, Lisa was a close friend of mine. We went to nursing school together. And then the detective says, and your husband says you may have some new information about this case that could help me. She says, I only know what I've heard. Says, okay, what have you heard? My friend was found in the boiler room at this hospital, stabbed to death. What else? The murderer stole her jewelry. She always wore this beautiful bracelet and necklace. They were given to her by her mother. My wife reaches down to the coffee table in front of us, picking up a photo of her and Lisa, showing the jewelry that Lisa always wore, setting the picture down. Lisa and her mother were very close. I don't like to talk about it. Thank you, Mrs. Murray. If you can think of anything else, please let me know. As he starts walking away, his wife gives an outburst as if she is Lisa. This is now Lisa's voice coming out. She says, please don't. Stop. Where are you taking me? I don't want to go with you. Stop. You're hurting me. Both of the men both look at each other in disbelief as the wife seems to be reliving Lisa being taken. Her voice is even distorting a bit while she's talking. Help. Somebody help me. Where are you, Evelyn? I'm not Evelyn. I'm Lisa. I'm afraid. The detective is asking questions. He says, who are you afraid of? She says, don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. Here, take it. As the wife is reaching as if she's unclasping a necklace and bracelet, taking everything off, saying, take it. Take everything, please. Who's hurting you, Lisa? Who is it? Do you know his name? And then Evelyn starts saying, Jeffrey Wagan, my back. Ah, the pipe is burning my back. No, help, please, stop. And then Evelyn collapses into her husband's arms on the couch, and he tries to comfort her after seeing what seems like Lisa's spirit reliving a moment through his wife's body. And he says, it's all right, Evelyn, it's all right. It's all going to be all right now. And the detective says she knew about the burn on Lisa's back, but that information was never released. And she's never said the murderer's name before. Says, do you know Jeffrey Wagan? And the doctor says, yes, I do. He's an orderly here. And he looks back at his wife and says, oh, it's okay, Evelyn, it's all right. Evelyn has an uneasy look on her face, but says nothing while she's just staring. And then in a ghostly voice, we hear Jeffrey, as we see Jeffrey mopping the floor of the hospital. He takes a beat and then resumes mopping the floor with a little more speed. And we hear it saying Jeffrey again. You hear the ghostly voice saying, Jeffrey, why did you kill me? Jeffrey says, what are you talking about? Who are you? You know who I am. I'm Lisa Aobi. He says, you're not Lisa Aobi. She's dead, and dead people don't come back. She says, I did. He says, who are you? What are you trying to pull? You took me down into that boiler room. I gave you my jewelry, but you pushed me against the hot pipes and burned my back, and you stabbed me over and over again. How do you know all this? There was nobody there except me. And me, murderer. Starts yelling murderer at him. Jeffrey holds up a knife and steps towards Evelyn. He yells, stop it. Curtain by the by the empty patient bed flies up, revealing Detective Puma rushing at Jerry and tackling him onto another patient bed, securing the knife in Jeffrey's hand. A second cop rushes over into the entry door, and I race out from behind the blinds. I bend down to the chair to hug Evelyn and comfort her after seeing Jeffrey raise up a knife towards her. He says, it's over, Evelyn, it's over. I asked my wife, Evelyn, why she was so willing to risk her life to trap Lisa's killer. She told me she had no choice. Lisa was making all of the decisions for her. That one is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That was throwing me off, though.
Okay, so the next one is called The Chess Game. Chester and Walt are sitting at the dining room table, and Chester's wife is cleaning up the dishes from the table. Chester: Walt, I feel particularly cagey this afternoon. How do you feel? Walt: Devious, Chester. Real devious. Oh my gosh, I wish I could read. Mary: Have a good game, you two, and no fighting. Chester: Oh, it wouldn't be a game without a good fight. Walter: Oh, you're the fighter, not me. Right. There goes Mr. Perfect. For as long as I can remember, my husband Chester and his best friend Walt have spent their Saturday afternoons having lunch at our house, followed by a cantankerous game of chess. I don't know that word. How would you pronounce that?
Cantankerous?
Cantankerous? Okay. You always grab the white ones first. You're such a creature of habit, Chester says. I'm not. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to make the first move. You go first, Chester said. That's because white always goes first. Oh, ho, ho. What a surprise. King pawn to king four. Just once, I'd like to see you make a different first move. I could understand if you won occasionally, but you always lose. I won a few. You just don't want to remember. What do? Take a bath in the cheap bay rum cologne of yours? Why don't you stop sniffing me and make your move before the millennium comes in? I think you just distract me so I can't think. You don't need me to help you not think. I shake my head. How I used to love those Saturday mornings. That evening, Chester and I receive a phone call. On Walt's way home from the chess game, he was involved in a terrible car accident. Chester's beloved friend, Walt, was dead. Chester sitting on the front porch, I approach, bringing Chester a sandwich, potato chips, and a pickle to eat.
Potato chits?
This is why I should have just wrote everything. I appreciate him wanting to help, but and like I told him, it's not like I can complain.
Yeah.
Because I did ask for his help.
And it is very appreciated.
It is.
But you get what I was
Yes, I do.
I caught you say it. I didn't read it.
Yeah,
I was like, yep. So you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So Chester sitting on the front porch. Mary approaches, bringing Chester a sandwich, potato chips, and a pickle to eat, but Chester waves his hand to shoo it away. Mary then pats his shoulder to try to comfort him. As the weeks passed, the death of his best friend weighed more and more heavily on Chester. He wasn't sleeping or eating well. In some strange way, he was blaming himself for Walt's death. Mary knew that was nonsense, but the steady decline of Chester's health was very real. Oh, Chester, you've got to stop doing this to yourself. Look, I've been thinking, and I've got an idea. How about you and I play chess together? Chester sighs. I love you, Mary, and I know what you're trying to do, but it just won't be the same. Mary says, no, it won't be the same, but let's just try it anyways. It was a very strange game. When dumping the bag of game pieces, the black and white pieces were already separated. Well, isn't that odd? Chester says, yeah, it sure is. Chester starts sniffing the air as if he smelled something familiar. Mary, what are you doing? Are you wearing bay rum? Chester said. No, I'm wearing my usual perfume. And Mary starts sniffing the air too. Then things get really strange. Mary goes to move a pawn 2 spaces forward, and then the pieces slide back to where it started, and then the piece that Walt normally started with moves itself forward 2 spaces. Mary said, there's something wrong here. Chester said, yeah, I think we should put the game away. Yeah, put it away. A lady with a camera in her hand scanned the porch with a camera. Chester has his arm wrapped around Mary as we listen to what the lady has to say. Images have been known to be picked up on camera that cannot be seen by the naked eye. She then puts the camera behind her shoulder and picks up a Geiger counter. Don't know what that is. Mary hired an expert in the paranormal. After performing a series of extensive tests, she concluded that there were no signs of parapsychic activity in the house. All I can think is perhaps there was a slight earth tremor that afternoon, which caused the movement of the pieces. Or maybe one of you accidentally bumped the table without realizing it, says the lady. You're probably right, Doc. I think I did kick the table. Well, this makes me feel a lot better, Chester said. Well, I'm glad you're so sure, Mary said. Chester says, thanks for coming around, Doc. And with all due respect to my wife, she believes in all this paranormal stuff, but I have my doubts. Well, to each his own, Mr. Higgins. The lady reaches out with her hand and shakes Chester's before turning to leave. She stops and turns around. My dad used to wear bay rum. Is that what you have on? Chester takes a beat before answering, Yes, that's what I have on. The lady smiles, then leaves. Chester sets up the chess pieces on the chessboard, and Mary approaches. Mary says, You ate everything, and you're looking so good lately. Oh, I love you, baby. Oh, and Walt says hi. Chester says, Hi, Walt. I look at the empty chair across from Chester, and I pat Chester's face. I'm going to leave you two alone. You two have a good game. And she starts to walk away, but turns back. Oh, and I don't want to hear any fighting. Chester shakes his head no and looks across the table from him. He gestures towards the chair. Your move. The chess piece that Walt always started with begins to move, just like his opening move. You never change, Chester says, shaking his head. I know. Hurry up. Oh, how I love Saturday mornings.
That's cute.
I know. Sorry if that was so, choppy. I apologize. Like I said, this wasn't me writing those.
The help was very appreciated.
It was.
But it did throw us off a little bit.
It was.
Going from written story mode to script mode.
Yes.
Just a little bit more difficult to narrate our way through.
Yeah. But what do you guys think? Do you think that...
Do we think that Walt is really
do you think
playing
Walt
chess
came
in the
back?
afterlife?
I know. I mean, I
What
think
a
we could
thing.
haunt each other.
Oh, yeah.
I think we could do
Let
that.
me just tell you, if I was to die tomorrow, God forbid,
No thanks.
it's not the goal anymore, okay? I'm okay.
Good.
But if I was to, for unforeseen circumstances, I feel like I'd probably be here an awful lot. I'd just be like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here. Just be like, I'm coming to sit on your couch, Lindsay, and to snuggle my cat.
Yep.
So
Gotta come snuggle the cat.
I gotta haunt my kitty.
So everybody get your
Get your guesses in your head.
get your guesses so that we can reveal the
see.
things. So our first one was about the guitar player that lost his hearing, but all of a sudden it came back miraculously. True or false? What do you think? Hef, what do you think?
True.
Okay. Well, I gotcha, because it's actually false.
Ah, knew it.
Yep.
Of course. I would pick the wrong one.
It was a 50-50, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next story you read, which was The Bucket,
Yes.
which was about, if you want to tell.
It was the dairy bucket that was moving. The lid flew off and all that stuff, and he went to take the freaky bucket back because he's like, what the heck, I don't want this bucket, gotta take this back to Gus. And then Gus was dying because he had a stroke, and he got him to the hospital right in time and saved his life.
Mm-hmm. So, everybody,
True or false?
true or false? What are we thinking?
I feel like that one could be true. I feel like I'm going to say true every time. I don't know.
I
But
know,
I do
I
feel
would
like
love
that
if
was
all
true.
of them were true.
Yeah.
That was true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
awesome.
love that. Just because, even though I know nothing about Gus, I just automatically love Gus. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I love Gus.
He's
Okay.
just the milkman.
Yeah, I know.
He didn't
Just
make the babies.
friendly-
He's just getting the blame for it.
Oh no, not a milkman joke.
You have to.
Okay, so the third story was about the bridesmaid, where she is in her sister's wedding and all these other people's weddings, and she just really wants to be the bride. She meets this guy on the internet, and she really, really likes him, and so she takes a chance, and she's gonna go meet him at the place that they set up, and it turns out to be what she thought was her deceased brother-in-law, but it's not. And so, of course, she does the right thing and takes him to her sister, and they get reunited, and yay. But, so, do we think that was true or false? What do we think?
I would feel false.
I
want it
know.
to be
I feel
false.
so bad if it was false. So,
You mean if it was true?
yes,
Oh,
it was true.
Yeah.
So, everybody, what do we think? And you think it's false?
I want it to be false.
Oh, okay. Well, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I feel you, sister.
Yeah.
I mean, not directly, because I've never had something that crazy happen to me, but
But I'm glad she took the high road. And she's like,
Yeah.
you know what? I know what I gotta do.
to be fair.
That's sisterly love right there. But that would take some splaining to do if you took him for yourself. And your sister's like, what the heck? He looks just like my Alan. No, his name's Corey.
It's not.
Okay, and so the next story was
The
the voice from beyond. or-
Lisa got murdered, and she approached her killer, and did he die? I don't remember. He didn't die. No, that wasn't a thing.
No, he got.
No, they caught him.
That was a police raid.
She was coming, like
sting
her spirit was coming through her best friend.
Yeah. What we think? True, false?
True.
True. It was true. That one,
That
I'm
one's
like, that is
wild.
wild.
And I mean, the fact that he confessed makes it better, because, like,
Right.
if he wouldn't have confessed,
And then what kind of jury would be like,
right? Because, like, they'd be like,
you heard
"Girl,
your-"
you were probably faking."
Yeah.
Like that's nuts. But the fact that he confessed helps a lot.
It does. Yeah.
So
And then the final episode was about two best friends that just played chess together every Saturday. And unfortunately, he passed away. And then he came back to play with Chester for the rest of his life. Well, Chester's life, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what a sweet message is that? You know what? I love my best friends. I'm going to come back and just haunt you, you know?
haunt you in a very nice way.
Yeah, we're going to just play chess together every Saturday. So, what do we think? True, false?
True. I want it to be true.
It
That's
is
so
true.
cute. That's adorable.
I know. I'm so happy that it's true. It makes me so happy. So, all of our stories are true except for the very first one.
Yep.
Which I kind of wish that one was true, you know?
Yeah. That one was a little crazy, though.
Yeah.
That would have been nuts.
Yeah. And you should, like, most of these stories, like, the show is from, what, the 80s?
Yeah.
So most of the stories that they have are from, like, the 70s. And you should see the people, the way they got them dressed up and, like, how they act and, like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very cringy.
Yes, so cringy. Did you
But it
watch
makes
that
sense
one
for
with
the
me?
time.
I was worried that I picked one that you watched with me, but I don't think you...
I don't remember watching that one. I
Okay.
really don't. Everything seemed pretty new to me.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you guys think? Did you like our, like, story and then revealing if they were true or not? We could do it again. It's just a lot of typing for me, but honestly,
Yeah.
I kind of like typing.
I'm glad you do. I don't.
Really?
I prefer writing over typing.
Oh,
I'd rather
I mean,
handwrite
my
things.
hand cramps.
Yeah.
So I can't. I was going to write them out, but then I'm like, this hurts my hand too much. I
Yeah.
can't do this. So typing it is. And maybe I'll start earlier in the week instead of, like Sunday.
That might help.
Yeah. So let us know what you think.
Yes.
And like, subscribe, comment.
And come back next week for more nonsense.
Bye.
Bye.